Welcome to the For Life and Educational Views. The For Life and Educational Views we're going to discuss are essentialism, experimentalism, reconstructionism, and existentialism. Essentialism. Essentialism tries to instill all students with the most essential or basic academic knowledge and skills and character development. Essentialists believe that teachers should try to embed traditional and moral values and virtues such as respect for authority, perseverance, fidelity to duty, consideration of others, and the practicality and intellectual knowledge that students need to become model citizens. The foundation of essentialist curriculum is based on traditional disciplines such as math, natural science, history, foreign language, and literature. Essentialists frown upon vocational courses. In the essentialist system, students are required to master a set body of information and basic techniques for their grade level before they are promoted to the next higher grade. The content gradually moves towards more complex skills and detailed knowledge. Essentialists argue that the classrooms should be teacher orientated. The teacher should serve as the intellectual and moral role model for students. The teacher or administrators decide what is the most important for students to learn with little regard to the student's interests. The teacher also focuses on achievement test scores as a means of evaluating progress. The essentialist classroom is centered on students being taught about the people, events, ideas, and institutions that have shaped American society. Essentialists hope that when students leave school, they will not only possess basic knowledge and skills, but they will also have disciplined, practical minds capable of applying lessons learned in school in the real world. Essentialism is different from what Dewey would like to see in schools. Students in the system would sit in rows and be taught in masses. The students would learn passively by sitting in their desks and listening to the teacher. An example of essentialism would be a lecture-based introduction class taught at universities. Students sit and take notes in a classroom which holds over 100 students. They take introductory level courses in order to introduce them to the concept. After they have completed this course, they will take the next level course and apply what they have learned previously. English 101 and English 102 are a specific example of essentialism. There is a set body of information in the extreme set information is basically described as the 3 R's. Knowledge that must be learned by the student. Time is short, thus the teacher might have tight control of the learning situation, both in terms of content and in method. Believes that learning can be difficult and that it is the student's responsibility to find his own interest in learning. Essentialists rely on drills, repetitive worksheets to harden as in concrete the set of information in the minds of students. Tends to rely on very few methods. Doesn't vary the classroom routine very much. The teacher is always at the center of instruction. The most important and primary question for essentialist educators is, are our students learning the basics? Focus on cognition, not into the effect or physical domains to any considerable extent. The heart of the educational process is absorption of a pre-subscribed subject matter. The school should retain traditional methods of mental discipline, the basic tenets and fears of essentialism and essentialists. The best pre-preparation for life is learning the culture and traditions of the past. Experimentalism. Education should be a study of social problems and how it is solved. Experience anything to learn it. Students should be taught what to think, but not how to think. Experimentalism believes that things are constantly changing. It is based on the view that reality is what works right now and that goodness comes from group decisions. As a result, school exists to discover and expand the society we live in. Experimentalism is associated with a very broad but shallow curriculum. Many electives, few required subjects. Experimentalist teachers like to tinker or experiment. They don't like to leave things the same all the time. In experiencing something, you are creating knowledge. Reconstructivism. Although pragmatists advocate continuous change and a forward-looking approach to the problems of people and society, it has become a tool for helping people adjust to society rather than just change it. Focusing on the learning for Reconstructionism. Critically analyze world events, explore controversial issues, develop vision for new and better world, promote programs of cultural renewal. Provide students with critical thinking tools, unite theory and practice. Public education should be the direct instrument of world reformation, using moral dilemmas to direct attention towards social and world reform. The role of the teacher in Reconstructivism. Educator is also a social activist, sees education as a tool for solving the problems of society. Rather than being passive dispensers of knowledge, teachers should become facilitators for analysts and change. Emphasis on human responsibility and judgment in ethical matters. The individual is the sole judge of his or her own action. Human freedom is understood precisely as the freedom to choose. Humans make choices that create their own nature. Choice is vital and inevitable. Even the refusal to choose is a choice. Freedom of choice entails risk, responsibility, and commitment. Choice or decision makes one responsible for the effects his or her choice, not only to themselves, but also to others, since he or she, his or her choice, also affects other people. The values of existentialism: freedom of choice, individual dignity, personal love, and creative effort. Classroom dialogue stimulates awareness that each person creates self-concept through significant choices. Educators help students understand and appreciate themselves as unique individuals who accept complete responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. Students are given a wide variety of option classes from which to choose. Students are afforded great latitude in their choice of subject matter. The humanities are given emphasis to provide students vicarious experiences that will help unleash their own creative and self-expression. Composed of fine arts, drama, creative expression, literature, and philosophy. Vocational education is seen more as a means of teaching students about themselves and their potentials than that of earning a livelihood. Existentialists focus on the actions of historical individuals who provide possible models for the student's own behavior rather than emphasizing historical events. Existentialism encourages individual creativity and imagination. In teaching values, teachers remain non-judgmental and take care not to impose their values on their students, since values are personal. Teachers should provide private and open spaces in their classroom to facilitate dialogue, small group discussion, and individualization. Educators should help their students define their own essence by exposing them to various paths they take in life. They should relate with each of their students openly and honestly. Help the individual identify how himself or herself can be better. The teacher should be a questionnaire, poser of alternatives, and an identifier of choices that will challenge the learner to become fully existent.